Hello and welcome back to the Movie Basket Podcast. I'm your host Tom, and I'm once again joined by my good friend Gene. How's it going?
How's it going?
Oh, I was gonna ask you how's it going.
Well,
Should we both answer at the same time?
yeah, sure.
My day's going pretty good. How about you?
My days do.
Are we supposed to be at the same time?
All right.
Oh my god. All right.
Anyway,
Yeah. So we're back, episode 4. Last episode we talked about Trapped in a Purple Haze, which had a pretty funny reaction, especially from the people back in our hometown. So.
yes, there was some movie basket lore with that one.
Yeah.
If you want to call it that.
Shout out Rebecca Riley for being our first comment on any of the YouTube videos. So thank you for being a Movie Basket fan. With that being said, today we are probably doing
A movie that we shouldn't do.
I was going to say the worst movie I've seen, but I don't want to assign that label too early. You know, it's only episode 4.
It's only episode 4. We can't possibly call it the worst movie we've ever seen, but it is the worst movie we've seen up to this point. It's the worst movie I've seen up to this point.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, I don't know how we got how this movie got the green light like ever.
Oh, I know how it got the green light.
Yeah, okay, we'll talk about that.
Anyways, without any further delay, I'm sure you saw the title. Today we're talking about Airplane Mode, which is Logan Paul's
Movie,
yeah, I
air
guess.
quotes.
Is it his debut? I don't know. Maybe
I don't think it's his debut. I think he was in okay, this is so random, but I think I heard somewhere that he was in Baywatch, but
Really?
only for one scene, and the scene got scrapped. let me double check this real quick. Let me fact check this.
That's pretty funny. Well, I wonder why it got scrapped. Think about when Baywatch came out.
Yeah.
So that's not too surprising. I will say before we get into this movie, Mom, Dad, if you're watching this episode, just click off. We'll do way better episodes in the future.
Yes, he was in Baywatch. I'm sorry to cut you off during the most important part of the episode of you warning your family not to watch this episode, but Logan Paul was in Baywatch. However, his scene was ultimately cut from the final edits of the movie.
Is it because of what I'm thinking of?
It might be.
I'm assuming it was the Suicide Forest.
I would assume that's why too, but...
Yeah. Ready? I'm going to lay a hot take on you right here.
Oh, he got in... Okay. He insulted a candidate.
What?
He played the role...
What do you mean candidate?
That's just what it's... Hold on. In the film, Paul played a role of an aspiring lifeguard who insults a fellow candidate in the queue. As a result, he gets thrown out from the beach for insulting the candidate. However, the scene... Oh, that's just the scene.
Yeah, I thought you meant he got cut from the movie because he insulted
No, that's
a candidate.
what I thought too, and I was like, wait, what does that mean?
Yeah, I was like...
Anyway.
Okay. I'm going to lay a hot take on you.
Yeah.
Logan Paul, bad guy.
No, you can't... No, that's not...
I know
What? What gave it away?
I know no one's ever...
Was it the forest?
I know no one's ever said that before. Nobody's ever thought that before.
This is a unique... This is hot, boiling take right here on Movie Basket from Mr. Tricoli over there.
No, it's the crypto scams. But so we watched Airplane Mode.
Which again, reiterate, if our parents are watching this, just click off.
Yeah, click off.
This isn't the one to watch.
There's much more appropriate.
We have better episodes.
Before we get into the plot, I don't even know how to talk about some of the things.
The plot. What plot?
All right. Well, we do this for WMR, which is Marist College's radio station, and while the radio station isn't up and running currently, a lot of these episodes are going to be rebroadcasted. I don't know what we could say and what we can't say.
Neither do I.
So
this might be a YouTube exclusive.
Yeah, I'm going to be pretty cautious.
I'm going to be cautious too. But this could end up being a YouTube exclusive to the real ones that were here from the beginning, which is everyone right now.
Do you want to explain the production before we get into the movie itself? Yeah, because we talked about the Suicide Forest already.
So yeah.
And you were the one who discovered this.
I'll jump into this a little bit. The filming started in 2016, and it was supposed to be released in 2017. But for those of you that don't know, Logan Paul was filming in a place where he should not have been filming, which was a big controversy. So the film got shelved for a little bit. Came out in 2019 instead.
I didn't pay attention to what year the movie came out, but now that you point that out, it's so apparent.
It's very
that movie
2016.
Is very 2016.
I thought it was like, wow, this came out in 2019. That's crazy. No, it was supposed to be 2017 for that it came out.
Yeah.
Filmed in 2016. It also originally only released on iTunes, according to Wikipedia.
That makes sense.
And it only has one professional review.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Which is a negative review.
Could you believe that?
I'm gonna find that. If you want to start diving into what this movie's about.
Yeah, so I think the best way to describe this movie is it's a loose plot to justify Logan Paul and his friends going on a vacation. I think that's
that's a pretty good way to describe it.
Yeah, so the movie starts with a fucking bang.
Yeah, you could say that. You could.
Logan Paul has like this long distance girlfriend. I can't think of her name. Ariel. Thank you.
I think they choose all their real names.
Oh, she's an actual person?
Yeah, that's what it's.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, they just use their real names.
Oh, okay. So Ariel, who's I guess an Australian influencer, is Logan Paul's online girlfriend, and they're having like e-sex.
It actually says on Wikipedia that she's an American influencer. So
she played an Australian. So
yeah,
sorry, I'm not.
Yeah. You're not up to date. This is my favorite movie. How dare you?
She's my favorite influencer. How dare you get her nationality wrong?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're having like fucking e-sex. So,
or attempting to.
Yeah. So Logan
it's not going so well.
Reaches for a certain lubricant, and his friends just his stepbrother first barges in.
Yeah.
And then his friend Lele swings in through the fucking window.
Climbs a ladder and then
next
goes
thing you know,
in through the window.
Yeah. And then next thing you know, King Bach is fucking in there too. So, I don't know. It was very weird. I guess, like, I don't know if they all lived together or if they were all just hanging out.
No, they don't all live together. Do you want to know why? Because later in the movie, there's one of those crappy little text exchanges that pops up on the screen.
Oh, I didn't read those.
Oh, I did. And one of them was from Mom that says, "What did you do to the house?" Which means that the parents were away or something, and he just happens to be home with, like, an entire population of other people in his parents' home, which made no sense to me. Yeah. Why is Lele Pons breaking into Logan's mom's house? That's weird.
Well, also, like, they acknowledge it's weird in the movie, but it still doesn't make any sense. Like, why is he doing that with his friends downstairs?
That's a great question. Here's a better question. Why does Lele Pons take a video of it, and then when Logan deletes the video off her phone, Lele Pons is pissed. She's like, "Why would you do that? Why would you do that?" Like, she starts insulting him like he's in the wrong after she just literally filmed him. That's crazy. And then she storms out of the room for like a minute.
I think out of all the influencers in the movie,
she's the most annoying one.
I was going to say she's my least favorite in real life.
Loud.
So
in real life too, yeah. I don't particularly like any of them, really.
Yeah, no, I'm not
Paul.
I'm not proclaiming to be a Peaks fan or anything like that, but yeah, I think Lele is my least favorite, and fortunately she was in it the least, I think, out of most of the influencers, which was good.
Because she was so loud.
Yeah, so
that's just like real life, but
that whole exchange goes on in the house, and it's just to set up the idea that they have to go to Australia because there's an influencer convention.
Can you guess what it's called? Everyone think influencer convention. What are you going to name that convention? Which is locked in. It's called Hashtagathon.
I want to go to Hashtagathon.
I want to go to Hashtagathon so badly. The biggest influencer convention in the world in Australia.
I feel like, in fairness, even the real life influencer conventions sound fake. Like, VidCon doesn't sound like a real thing, you know what I mean?
That does. That sounds like that sounds like something that, like, I don't know, a 90-year-old would write in, like, some short video that's, like, just a rant against the younger generation.
And then
they're all going to VidCon.
It sounds like something Logan Paul made up for airplane mode.
No, it literally does. Hashtagathon is hilarious.
I guess I should have thrown this in to begin with. There's only 4 writers for this movie.
That I didn't know.
2 of which are the Paul brothers.
That I did know.
I just want to put that out there because there's some things in this movie that I find very weird, especially having that Logan Paul was involved directly in the writing. So just keep that in mind, and I'll elaborate on that a little bit
further. That does make sense now that there were 4 writers. I'm looking at it right. Yeah, you're right. There were 4 writers.
Yeah. The one and only funny joke happened within the first 10 minutes of the movie, at least in my opinion. So Logan has like a foreign exchange adopted brother named Wampa.
Yes.
Okay. So they make a little comment about how
I
Jake
think I know
Paul
where you're
isn't
going with this.
around because Disney got him.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was kind of funny
That
because
is,
I would
yeah.
imagine Disney probably like blocked him from being in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he was
That was
involved
probably
in the production.
real. Yeah.
He wrote part of the movie, but they probably told him, they're like, yeah, you're not acting in that. Which is probably the best
For the
move.
better,
Disney, yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, not that Jake is a great guy either, because he's also an asshole.
Yeah.
But I mean,
He's probably happy that he couldn't have been in the movie.
yeah, like thankfully he wasn't.
I'm not saying like Disney Channel TV show is like something he's probably proud of, but
No, he probably is. Have you seen the guy? He's for sure proud of it.
I guess, yeah, he's got an ego.
Yeah.
At least the Disney Channel TV show he was on isn't as embarrassing since it's made for kids as whatever the fuck airplane mode is.
This was insane.
Yeah.
So why don't you move on? Now we've decided that they're all going to #-a-thon.
Yeah,
why? Why are they going to #-a-thon, Tom? Tell me why. What's the plot device that needs them to need to go to Australia?
They got to get laid.
They want to get laid. That is the plot.
Yeah.
That's the plot of the whole entire movie. Is that they are desperate to go to Australia to #-a-thon so that they can get laid.
Any chance this movie has to be overly sexual, it takes
the chance.
And
termite scene.
Yeah, like
enough said.
Literally, like while they're running around Logan Paul's room after he already jerked off, there's termites that they just cut to in the floorboards, and for some reason they're having sex too.
Yeah, the termites.
Everyone's getting laid in this movie.
Everyone except for Wampa until the very end. Spoiler.
Even you, the viewer.
Even you, the viewer, are getting fucked while you watch this movie. It's crazy.
So, yeah, any chance they have to be overly sexual, it definitely takes it. And thinking back to 2016 and like the Vine humor, it kind of makes sense, but at the same time, none of it's funny because you see it coming from miles away, and also like
some of it's just so out of place. Like the lube starts talking to Logan.
Oh yeah,
Paul. This is the only time an inanimate object speaks throughout the movie. The lube starts in a demon voice talking to Logan Paul, just commanding Logan to use it. It's very bizarre.
Yeah, so now they get to the airport and all the influencers are showing up. They're all on the same flight.
Because of course they are.
The one thing I don't understand though, right? They're all chilling in Logan Paul's house. They're all clearly friends.
Yes.
Why is Logan Paul the only one in first class and the rest of them are all just sporadically seated throughout the plane?
Wasn't there a reason? Doesn't he get moved to first class? Doesn't? Oh yeah. So okay, I remember this. There's a plot device for why.
Oh, so you're saying I missed this?
You missed this.
Okay.
He goes to sit down, and the flight attendant, who is in my opinion my favorite person in the role, the male flight attendant, he just comes up and he's like, "Someone died in first class," and then they wheel him off on a stretcher because Logan is like. By the way, Logan. The whole subplot of them needing to have a baby like immediately is he's afraid of being on the plane.
Yeah.
Because when he was 10, he fell out of a tree for a YouTube video in the movie and broke like both of his both
femurs.
Both of his femurs. So,
and they make a femur joke pretty often in the movie,
which is random.
Yeah, I didn't think femurs were like
slapstick comedy.
Yeah,
like, he made a femur joke.
Dude, now that I think about it, there's 2 other people in this movie who break their femurs.
Yeah, I know. 2 other. And one of them is a child.
Well, I mean, Logan was a child, too.
So, yeah, I guess this is like a regular thing. But anyway, so, yeah. The flight attendant comes over and Logan is all like, I don't know what to do. I'm scared. And the flight attendant comes over and he's like, hey, someone died in first class. Do you want to take first class? And so he does.
Still, though, like, none of them were sitting next to each other on the plane, even though they're all friends.
No.
Like, Brittany, Furlan's, and, that's another thing I forgot
It's like
to mention.
trying to get, like, on a real-life flight, trying to sit with your family. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, so pretty much, like, every person you may remember from Vine is here.
And the ones that you don't remember.
Yeah, and the ones you don't remember. So we got Logan Paul, King Bach, Lele Pons, Brittany Furlan, Amanda Cerny.
I'm shivering just thinking about
Peaks,
this list.
Vitali, even though he's not, I guess, a Viner. Casey Neistat was randomly there, although he wasn't on the plane. Who was that family vlogger?
I don't remember.
Roman Atwood was an airport employee too. David Dobrik is there. I fucking hate David Dobrik, dude.
I don't like
me off.
Yeah, no, I don't like him either. He's kind of a terrible person. I think that's a theme that you notice with like at least half of the people, at least half of the crew list are comprised of people that you would not want to see in an airport.
Yeah. I also realized that like there's a lot of people that like I vaguely remembered. Like I'm like, I saw your face on Vine, but I didn't even know you were still like
Right,
alive.
it's just a face.
Yeah.
It's like a dream. This whole movie feels like a dream. Not a good one
bad
either.
dream.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I also want to mention when they're getting on the plane, I don't think we stated enough the loud equals funny sense of humor that they were going for, especially with Lele Pons. But like, there's just one scene where they're running onto the plane, and she just falls.
yeah.
She just flops onto the ground, and her bag gets everywhere.
Well, I mean, that's all she knows how to do.
No, I
comedy-wise.
know. A comedy, air quotes, is just yell. That scene in particular, she's like running to the plane. She's like, "Wait for me!" And then she literally like, it's the most.
Okay, but plot hole, right? Plot hole.
Oh, a plot hole.
She falls right.
Oh, yeah,
and they
yeah.
close the door on her.
Implying that she misses the flight.
Yeah. Fast forward to the end of the movie. Who do we see getting off the plane?
First. She's the first off the plane.
No one else besides Lele Pons, of course. So
she teleports onto the plane during the movie.
dude, that I don't know why the consistency of a shitty movie like this mattered to me, but I saw that and it like annoyed me because it was like
I was
come on.
happy when I saw her miss the plane. I was like, thank God I don't have to see her on this
Yeah.
flight. And then at the end, she's like, I'm back. Or like, you know what I mean? She's like off the plane.
Dude, I thought what they were gonna do is I thought she was gonna be like hanging onto the wing like fucking Ezekiel from Total Drama.
Yeah.
I thought that was the joke they were setting up, but they didn't.
No,
go there.
they didn't do that because it was the Paul brothers.
That was a
writing
little
this.
too challenging.
That was too highbrow for them.
The plane fucking a cloud that looks like a vagina.
That was something that happened. Which
yeah.
that was like I want to know what the writers' room was like. It's like the Paul brothers, and they're like, and then we're gonna make the plane fly into the cloud, but it's a I can't say vagina. And then both of them just like laughing hysterically at the thought of that.
Dude, the way they were acting, I don't know if did you ever watch any of the Paul's content?
No, I mean I've seen bits and
Like
pieces.
you saw,
everyone
like
has.
you saw clips of the vlogs, right?
Yes.
I feel like they were just acting for a vlog.
I feel like they were just
time.
vlogging the entire time. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, like the way they like acted towards the camera was almost like they were making one of their YouTube vlogs, and I feel like
It doesn't
first of all,
translate.
yeah, I don't care for any of their content, but at least the content they make is like 10 to 15 minutes long.
This was
When
what was it? 80 minutes long.
Yeah, when it's like an 80 to 90-minute movie, and
I
everything
can't watch
is so,
a 90-minute Logan Paul vlog with like
Yeah.
the occasional
everything
cloud
is just
and
so
airplane.
over the top.
Yeah,
It's so loud, you get tired of it very quickly. Not that
it
should
should
be
be noted
surprising.
that the special effects are not very good. Like when they fall through the
No.
floor,
Yeah,
like that's just bad. It's
some
bad.
of the special effects weren't that bad though. Like when the plane landed, I was kind of surprised. I'm like, that doesn't look as shitty as I thought it would.
Well, I mean, it's like okay animation mixed in with the worst fucking animation you've ever seen.
Yeah.
So it's like jarring. You could argue that they're going for that. You could absolutely make that argument that they're going for that kind of
For me, it didn't-
authentic college kid kind of animation style that's like not professional, but you know what I mean, it gets the job done. You could make an argument
Yeah.
for that. I think it looks bad.
it's weird to hold this to the same standard as any other movie we've watched on
This
show.
barely feels like a movie.
Yeah.
It's like a non-movie. It's more of like just a really long skit
Because like I feel like with
and
Cats,
not a good one.
with Cats, we went so into how the CGI looked, and rightfully so because it appeared bad.
Mm-hmm.
The airplane mode CGI is far worse. Yet I don't find myself as bothered because I barely feel like it's a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it doesn't feel like a movie. It really is a bizarre, surreal piece of media.
Yeah. Dude, all right. This is what I was thinking about when I was watching it. Like hypothetical scenario, right? Let's say like I don't know, 500 years down the line, like society is wiped out. Like there's no.
This is all the trace they find. Is that where you're going? With
Yeah. The one thing left is a single DVD
Hashtag-a-thon.
player, an airplane mode on Blu-ray,
Mm.
and that's all they have left of human society. And they study that and like advanced
Idolize
life
it.
forms.
They're like,
Yeah.
this is like.
This is what humans did.
Mhm.
I don't know.
It's like how we look at like Greek architecture and stuff, and
Yeah.
like
the Greek
records of Caesar.
There was probably like better Greek architecture than we knew. Like,
Oh, probably.
yeah.
And there was probably better movies than this one, but I mean,
Yeah.
here we are on Movie Basket talking about it.
But yeah, getting back on track. One thing to note about this movie is that it is very, very racist.
Oh my God, so racist.
I don't like to sit on like some like moral pedestal and like lecture people about like, oh, like you shouldn't say this, you shouldn't say that.
Right.
Like I don't want to be that
right.
person.
Neither do I. But
But
this movie is
It's-
racist.
Yeah, it's so overtly racist.
like
and
over the top racist.
like it's not even like
They go out and try to pick on as many different races as they possibly can.
I'm gonna say something. It's not even like nuanced racism. It's the same fucking tired stereotypes that you've heard for the last like 60 plus years. And I'm not saying it's okay to be racist. I'm definitely not saying that. But I am saying try something else.
So what Tom is saying is if you're going to be racist, be creatively racist. Isn't that right, Tom?
No. Like, you guys understand what I'm saying, right? Like, is that bad to say?
Let's compare it to a South Park episode.
Okay.
That's where you're going with this.
Yeah.
Yes, Tom. It's not a bad thing to say. I get what you're saying. The viewers get what you're saying. Think of it in the context of a South Park episode.
Yeah.
South Park has a lot of very racist moments. And whether you like that show or not, it's very popular. And it's established, a lot of the humor in that show is established as for satirical purposes. This movie does not have that. It doesn't have 20 years of established comedy. It doesn't have a diverse writing cast.
Exactly.
This is the Paul brothers.
Yeah, you got to look at intent. So like you're saying with South Park, at least like in the context of South Park, it is obviously very clearly established it's satirical. And also usually the people who are being racist for saying these things are laughed at within the context of the show. Like it's known that their actions are bad and morally wrong.
Yes.
There is none of that.
There's none of that here. Wampa gets like deported like the second he walks into the airport, even though he's an American citizen.
No, he actually wasn't.
Oh, he wasn't. Okay.
Yeah, that was the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, still like a very obvious joke to make about someone who is of Mexican heritage, but like yeah, that was a conversation
really out of place.
Yeah, that was a conversation he had.
He one of his plot devices is that he pleads to get deported to Australia.
Yeah, all he wants to do is get laid. It's established within the first like 3 minutes of the movie, and then anytime he reappears, because we honestly don't see him that much.
We don't see most of the influencers that much.
No, it's the Logan Paul, whoever that actress was, because she actually wasn't an influencer, and then Vitaly's show. That's pretty much it.
And the
for the
flight
better.
attendant, the one flight attendant, who he's clearly like a decent actor. I got that impression, and his script is so bad.
Yeah, so the flight attendant that we've alluded to is gay, and the whole thing is that like he's apparently gay for Logan Paul, and that's where I thought the writing situation was weird because Logan Paul wrote that.
Yeah,
so to write a
Logan Paul wrote that. Logan Paul is like, he's crossing all the lines off. He's like, I'm going to have all the girls want me in this movie and all the boys want. There's another scene later where there's this big muscular gay man and Logan Paul, who wrote the script, writes the man insisting that he kisses him. He also gets kissed by the flight attendant.
Yeah. It's just
has sex with the girl. It's like an ego thing.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's a very narcissistic thing to do.
It's so narcissistic.
To write a movie where both men and women are infatuated with you.
He has two girls all over him and two guys all over him.
Yeah.
During the movie.
Yeah, like
you wrote the movie.
It's very strange. Like imagine if like because Adam Sandler writes his movies, right? And Adam Sandler always has himself marrying like a hot female actress. Imagine if like Adam Sandler also decided that he had to play it both ways, so like all his male friends had to compliment like
he would do that.
You're so hot,
but it would
Adam.
be different. Yeah, that's pretty much. He's so narcissistic in this movie, Logan Paul.
Yeah,
and in real life, but in this movie, we'll stick it to the confines of this movie. He's very narcissistic in his writing.
I guess it shouldn't be that surprising. Like
no,
judging by the fact that his entire career is just selling himself, you know what I mean?
There's also another plot device that Logan Paul can read the minds of gay people around him. That's like also not established, but he can do that.
It's just very weird because there's random things that like they introduce.
There's random things.
Like, you're like, why? Like the fact that like the lubricant was
sentient, and also jealous.
Yeah, the lubricant was sentient. Logan Paul could read the thoughts of only gay people, and there was something else that I was like, why? Like this doesn't make sense, and I can't think of it. I guess the termites. That's probably what it was. The termites.
The cloud scene where the airplane goes into the cloud. That's one.
I get that. That was just like a Family Guy type cutaway, but it was just like also just not funny.
Yeah, no. There's a few random There's actually a lot of small. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of really small subplots throughout this movie.
Yeah.
One of the bigger small subplots, is that someone on the plane steals a woman's baby.
Oh yeah. I see where you're going with this.
That was, and then
And then he breastfeeds said baby.
He breastfeeds the baby.
Yeah, and like,
and some of the other parts of the seats too by accident in the process.
It's complete with spraying fake
Yeah.
boob.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very classy stuff.
He doesn't
going
give
on.
the baby back at the end either, even though at the end of the movie the girl's like begging for her baby back. She's
Yeah.
like, I can't find my baby, and he has it like in a cloth.
Oh my god, that I don't even want to talk about that ending scene.
That ending scene was fucking crazy.
Yeah, that was weird. But all right, we're kind of moving at this.
It's hard.
With a weird pace.
Okay, here's the thing about this. We've gotten better at our pacing in Movie Basket podcast, I would say, since the first Wonder Woman episode. This movie is equally confused with the pacing as we are.
Yeah.
Presenting it. So
Yeah.
we're going to probably jump around a little bit by accident, but that's what watching the movie feels like, is just jumping around. It's bizarre.
I just want to say, like, you mentioned the whole, like, multiple subplots.
Mm-hmm.
None of them matter.
None of the whole plot, nothing matters at all in this movie.
Not a single one is interesting, not a single one matters, and not a single one is fully resolved by the time the plane lands. So,
which it's a 17-hour flight.
yeah, I'm honestly, I don't even know how much I really want to talk about any of the subplots, because really most of them don't mean anything.
Yeah, there's not much there to work with.
Anyways, they get on the plane, so you get like a little establishing like who's sitting where next to who. And
which doesn't matter either.
Yeah, there's people just being weird for the sake of being weird. Like, you know, everyone knows those like flying tropes, like, oh, the couple next to me won't stop sucking each other's dicks.
Mm-hmm.
I hate when that happens when I'm flying.
Uh-huh.
Oh, the old woman who can't help but stick her fingers in your mouth and then sleeps with their eyes open. That's happened to everyone.
Yeah, that's so relatable.
Yeah.
And then also like cheats on her husband that she's looking to have sex with for the first time in 70 years with the passenger. I hate when that happens.
Yeah, it's such an uncomfortable flying experience. Where like that one Asian businessman who just does coke the entire flight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you've sat next to one of those.
Yeah. What about the mom who loses the baby and then gets super drunk and then like passes herself to every single person on the flight?
Yeah, that's normal.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big ass airplane is what I realized pretty quickly in that movie.
It's a huge airplane.
I was like, I don't think airplanes are really this big IRL. I don't know. Maybe I've never flown to Australia.
first class, but I don't think there's a full-sized bar in every single airplane.
Yeah.
Is that?
I also don't think if there was a hypothetical killer on your flight that they would be able to hide.
Which is a
for
subplot, by the
multiple-
way. The fact that he's a. We need to specify. What's his name?
Vitali.
Vitali is a killer, and
ever-
he's just on the plane with everyone, like detained. But he's like, that's a weird way to transport like
Yeah.
a serial killer. But anyway,
Did you ever watch his videos, Vitali?
no, he's the It's Just a Prank Bro guy though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a big plot.
That's
big
why he kept
subplot.
saying it in the movie.
His thing was he was a murderer because it's just a prank.
Yeah. Except like it wasn't a prank.
No,
he just,
it
like,
wasn't. He's
sang
just like,
it.
yeah.
Maybe dude just had Tourette's and that was like his like
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, so they're on the plane, they take off, and within the first like literally 3 minutes of the flight, somehow both of the pilots,
somehow it's go on, finish for your thought.
I was gonna say both of the pilots die because they're electrocuted.
Do you want to know why they're electrocuted?
I honestly wasn't even paying attention
because-
to go for it.
Shows how much you care.
Yeah.
It's because none of the passengers turn their phones on airplane mode when the flight starts, and they all go on social media and start vlogging in the passenger seats and like Googling shit. And then they're flying and they're like, this is great, ready for another flight. And then the engine starts overheating and they're like, why is this happening? They didn't turn on airplane mode. They look at the camera and they say, airplane mode.
Yeah.
And then they're like, no, but they had to turn on airplane mode. And then they both die. Like, they just die.
Yeah.
Because the passengers didn't turn on airplane mode on their phones.
I will say, you know why I didn't pay attention to that? Because the 3 minutes you described leading up to it of everyone on their phone was so fucking obnoxious that I physically didn't want to look at the screen.
It's a repulsive movie. It is repulsive.
Peaks is screaming and blowing up his life vest for no reason. Brittany Ferlin has her I'm not gonna say that. She has
No, she has her stuff.
Yeah, she has her stuff out. Amanda Cerny's fucking vlogging for some reason.
She's vlogging the whole movie.
King Bach always screams, but he's screaming for the sake of screaming. David Dobrik is sitting with the woman, and he's like,
just to scream.
Someone's dressed up as like a quote unquote terrorist.
Quote unquote, for no reason.
Yeah, for no reason.
Yeah.
So
a racial depiction of what a terrorist would look like.
Yeah, that's the better way to word it.
Yeah.
So
which is a lot. We need to re-say how racist this movie is.
Yeah, it is. It is
a racist movie.
It is very 2016 YouTube.
Yeah, it is.
Like, think back to YouTube. What is that? 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, YouTube was hella racist. It kind of makes sense for that time.
Still not a good look.
No, not at all. Dude, if I was in that movie,
oh my god, I would not.
Yeah,
I would take that money and I would try to just.
The money could not have been worth it. The budget wasn't that big. None of them got paid that much.
No, no, they just did it so they could party on a plane.
Yeah, but like a fake plane.
Fake party on a fake plane.
Like not even a real one. But yeah, so they're off. Pilots are dead. Nobody discovers that they're dead for at least like the first like maybe almost 10 hours of the flight because the one pilot, the way he died, he was slumped over the other guy's lap.
Yeah.
So the other flight attendant just assumed that he was getting mad dome.
Yeah, which is like again, this happens so often on flights.
Yeah. I hate when that happens.
Me too.
When the two pilots start sucking each other off, and
you're
like,
and then the
guys,
one
we gotta fly.
Yeah, guys, we gotta fly the plane. Nope.
There's no way this one's gonna be allowed on WMAR.
Yeah, we're not gonna advertise this one much.
Well, no, I'm gonna
outside of we're gonna advertise it on Instagram.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm still gonna post it. But
there's
no way.
This is not going. This is an exclusive episode, guys.
Exclusive.
We can say whatever we want.
No, we can't.
No, we can't. We shouldn't. We should not.
Yeah. Having a mic and having the mindset of I could say whatever I want is
like the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the worst.
That's how you lose your job.
Mm-hmm.
But
or not ever get a job.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're flying. Eventually, they discover that the pilots are dead. It took them like
10 hours.
Yeah.
Half the film.
At the same time, Logan Paul has been rizzing up the girl sitting next to him, because she also coincidentally broke her femurs when she was a kid, and they have matching scars.
Like identical.
Yeah.
It was probably like the same makeup. Like
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean like it literally could have been stickers.
How did she break it again?
Did she say it was a drug deal?
Yeah, drug deal. Mm-hmm. And someone, when a drug deal goes wrong and they just
break your feet. They
take
just
a mallet and they just break your femur.
Yeah, I hate when that happens. It happens to me all the time.
So they're just chatting the entire movie. All the influencers are running around doing their thing.
Also, there's so much alcohol. Everyone is drunk.
Yeah.
Everyone.
That's one of the subplots is just that Brittany Ferland wants to drink, so she is trying to find any alcohol she can on the flight.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, that's...
Why do I care? You know what I mean? I guess the audience for this is people who like their content, and I don't think there was that many people in 2016 who were looking for, like, a Peaks movie, let alone here in 2023 that are going to enjoy any of their presents.
Or even in 2019.
Yeah, when it released, nobody's really going to want that. So, I mentioned it before we went on air. I think it's interesting that Brittany Ferland is married to Tommy Lee.
Yeah, that's really funny.
Do you think Tommy Lee got forced to go to the premiere? Because they were married in 2019 when.
He probably just like put his earbuds in, and listened to his own music.
Yeah,
and
I'm proud of you. You did awesome.
That was so great. That was so great. Hey, what's those termites doing? That was so great.
Yeah. Weirdly, I feel like he would actually like enjoy this movie. Is that?
No, that's not a hot take. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think he's the type of person.
Yeah, like he probably found this genuinely.
He
funny.
he probably thought that some of the things were relatable to his own personal experiences.
I've been there.
I remember when I was flying a plane.
So eventually, once they discover that
the pilots are dead,
yeah,
and that the plane has been crashing,
the flight attendant goes to the back of the plane and she talks to the police officer who's been sitting with Vitali the entire time. First of all, the police officer acknowledges the fact that he's racist and he's just insanely racist, but he's also just fucking with Vitaly for no apparent reason.
Yeah,
just
he starts
shoving-
like he's wearing a mask. He starts like shoving food and like bananas and stuff like
Yeah.
into Vitaly's mask. And yeah, he says he literally goes and claims that he's racist, but then right after he's like talking about how he's very LGBTQ
Yeah.
supportive though, which is like that's so random.
There are so many things that like everything is just so.
Your
forward.
line was, "I can't leave my seat."
Yeah, no, you did a great job. Just a couple of notes. We didn't write anything about race.
Yeah.
The movie is so forward, which I don't think is too surprising for a movie that's
Well,
written by two
when-
Viners.
Yeah.
It's just so weird. Like, Vine, you had 6 seconds to make your jokes. When you make a shitty joke like
Now you
that,
have
it's
80,
somewhat
80
funny.
minutes.
Yeah, now you got to stretch it out to 80 minutes. I don't know the math off the top of my head, but that's like, what? You can fit 10 vines in a minute. That's like 800 vines, dude. The length of the movie is 800 unique vines.
Unique? Did you say unique?
Yeah, like 800 different vines. I didn't mean unique in the fact that I enjoy them. I just meant unique and different.
800 well-crafted, thought-out vines.
Yeah. But
Wonder what do you think? What percentage of this movie do you think there's something sexual happening on screen? For what, like
65.
65? Yeah, that's a good guess. I think.
And the only reason it's that low is because Logan Paul and the girl have to figure out how to fly the plane.
Which is like a third of the movie.
Yeah, otherwise it would probably be much higher than that.
Mhm.
Because anytime they cut away from the main plot, it's
Yeah,
something sexual.
It's something, yeah. Which is like, it actually feels like a middle schooler that just found out like some new curse words. That's what this movie feels like.
Hey, Gene, I found out a really cool curse word.
What
You want
word?
to hear
I
it?
bet I know more bad words than you, Bakalan.
Ready? You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Penis.
No!
Oh my god, dude, that peaked so high.
Yeah, I sorry. No, but that's what this movie feels like. What happens next in the movie? Oh, what happens is
Yeah.
Logan Paul breaks the autopilot.
No, dude, you skipped ahead.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We didn't mention the whole thing that Vitaly kills the police officer
Oh,
and then takes the
yeah,
other flight
that's
attendants hostage.
Which half the people on the plane also like don't notice this.
Nobody on the plane notices. Like, literally nobody has any clue that Vitaly is...
On the plane, like actively murdering people.
Yeah, if you board a plane, right, and we already said that it's not realistic that, like, a prisoner would be transported like that.
By one person sitting
Yeah.
next to him, and the officer is force-feeding him bananas.
If there's a guy wearing a muzzle in a straitjacket and you turn around and he's not there, wouldn't you immediately be concerned?
Yes, I would.
Like, I feel like that's
Wouldn't you be
something take
concerned if
note
you
of.
started to feel some turbulence after, like, 2 whole pilots died?
Dude, they literally felt no turbulence the entire time the pilots were dead. They
I
somehow
know.
flew straight the entire
The
time.
entire time.
Which, like, I'm not trying to nitpick the world of airplane mode because we could sit here forever and pick out little things and none of the criticisms really matter. But, like, I don't know. There's some rules that you need within a movie that are tied, like, at least to reality.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to, like, subvert those, it better be at least, like, funny or make sense within the rules that you establish for the movie. But none of that is the case in airplane mode.
They don't establish any rules in the movie. They
No,
don't.
there's one rule. Remember we went over it. Everyone gets laid.
Oh, I forgot
Yeah,
about
that's
that
the
rule.
rule,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a big part of that's important.
So
Hashtag-a-thon.
hashtag laid. After Vitaly breaks out and he abducts the 2 flight attendants and he kills the police officer, he leaves Logan Paul sitting in the cockpit with a communist
Monkey.
No, I was gonna
No.
say the sickle and the
Oh,
the-
yeah.
the
Oh, there's
hammer.
that on a stick.
Because-
I thought you were talking.
Yeah, because you get they had to remind
There's a
everyone
monkey on the
Vitaly's
flight
Russian.
too. By the way, there's a monkey on. It's one of the pilots.
Yeah,
More on him later.
he doesn't really do much.
Doesn't he do something at the end?
No, that was the parrot, wasn't it?
The parrot does that, but doesn't the monkey help land the plane?
I don't know how. I would've
Maybe
missed
I'm
that.
wrong
I don't know
about
how I
that.
would have missed that one.
It's
I don't
kind of
know.
hard to pay attention in this movie.
Yeah. So Logan Paul wakes up and he's like, "I gotta save them." So he tries doing mouth to mouth on.
On a corpse.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie. Like, I feel like I'm not grossed out too easily.
This was a gross scene.
Yeah, because they had it so the one pilot just
Was,
like
like,
had a
frothing.
mouthful of
Froth.
and Logan Paul like blows a raspberry into it, and the noise it made. Oh my god, dude, that was disgusting.
Yeah, it was not it. It was awful.
Yeah, so
Worse than any horror movie could ever do.
once he realizes they're dead, he puts on his apology video, tears, and he goes back to first class, and he tries to explain. I should probably know this girl's name since we keep mentioning her.
Her name is.
I mean, not that it really matters, but
no, it doesn't. None of them matter.
I keep saying that girl, and I feel like I should.
She's a main character.
Yeah.
Is it Amanda?
Probably.
Is it Casey? Is it Chloe? It's one of them.
No, I don't think it's Casey.
Let's.
I don't know who Casey would be besides Casey Neistat.
Yeah. Let's figure it out. We're gonna figure this out together.
Dude, what? Now that I think about it, like I didn't watch Casey Neistat, right? But like I feel like he was better than this movie. You know what I mean? Like people actually liked his content. Like he was like a celebrated YouTuber.
Her name was Jenna.
Jenna. Okay, cool. So none of the three.
And the flight attendant, his name is Bruce. I forgot about that. His name is
Bruce.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bruce is gone. Logan Paul puts on his crocodile tears and he walks back into first class and he's like, Jenna, I need you to listen to me. And
she's all like, this better be important. I'm sleeping.
Yeah. So it took really long for Logan Paul to explain what happened, which was weird because like the rest of the movie moved so quickly. Yet we spent so much time about the two of them talking, and it was like just little like nitpicky things that they're picking out about each other. But whatever, they go up to the whatchamacallit, the cockpit, and they're like, we gotta fly it. And then, as you said, he accidentally breaks the autopilot without realizing it. So
how does that happen?
Yeah, I mean, do planes even have autopilot?
Yes, they do.
They do?
Yes.
Oh, hey, the more you know. I didn't know they had autopilot.
They do.
So they start talking to one of the guys in radar control back down in Australia. And he's like, "Oh yeah, mate, you're fucked."
He literally says that like over and over again. He says, "You're all kinds of fucked."
Yeah. He wasn't funny at all.
No, he wasn't. He was like the most Australian stereotype character. He's
dude,
like, "Oh, I gotta go wrestle that dingo now," and it's like, "All right, buddy."
There's a lot of Australian jokes, and they're exactly what you would expect them to be, and none of them were funny.
None of them are funny. Like be creative. You can make fun of Australians.
Yeah.
You can do that. You can do that. That's easy. That's good humor.
The Logan Paul's like long distance girlfriend was like exactly what you would expect. She's like, "Oh yeah, it's rough
the
living
bugs
here."
aren't that bad here.
Yeah.
And then a spider bites her arm, and she kills the spider. She's like, "This is my spider stick."
Yeah,
that's original,
dude. The spider CGI was bad. that was.
It looks like one of those plastic spiders you see at Party Halloween.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Was that Party City?
Party City.
Or
I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were like hilariously bad. Like I don't like spiders at all. I consider myself like an arachnophobe. So usually like when I see them in movies, I get a little like queasy.
Yeah. Not here.
Yeah.
It looks like it just looks bad.
Dude, this might be one of our longest episodes, which is funny.
Which is funny because this is probably the shortest.
Yeah, the shortest movie we've watched so far, and also the worst one.
Yeah.
Because, if it's 80 minutes, it's 8 minutes shorter than Trapped in a Purple Haze. And we still have a lot to go over.
Well, let's paraphrase through it a little bit. What time are we at? I wasn't...
44.
Oh, yeah, let's kind of power through it a little bit.
All right, you could go ahead. I've been talking a lot.
What part of the movie are we at now?
They're in the cockpit, and they're trying to fly, and...
Is this when it's just Jenna and him, and they're like...
Yeah,
okay.
and then Juan Po walks in.
What happens there?
Oh, you don't remember? So he walks...
I need a refresher.
He walks in, and Logan's like, look, like they're dead. And he's like, oh my god. He's like, I can't die without being laid.
Yeah. He's like, you can't die being a virgin. And so he runs back into the economy class and starts going down the list and like talking like every single person. And then he stumbles on the mom who's drunk. I forget who that is. And then
it was Brittany Ferlin.
Yeah.
The one thing, it took me a minute to realize, but the mom who was drunk looks a lot like Brittany Ferlin, but isn't Brittany Ferlin. Like, they're two separate characters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it took me a little bit in the movie to realize that, because I was like, I was like, why does Brittany not care about her baby? And then I realized, like, oh, it's not Brittany. Yeah, so he just makes like a beeline for Brittany Ferlin, pretty much, which like
that's a weird.
I was gonna say understandable.
I mean, yeah, that's in his character right there. That's funny.
But anyways, yeah. So now they're still trying to fly the plane, and
It's just not going so well.
Vitali, what was the chemical?
Chloroform.
Yeah, Vitali chloroforms the entire.
Which, how does he
plane.
get that?
Well, I mean, you've never been on a flight. They always have those canisters just laying around.
Yeah, I hate when that happens.
It's happened to me a few times.
At least twice now. Yeah, he puts chloroform in all the oxygen, and then all these like masks come down. And it's like, everyone put your mask on.
These sheeple.
And none of them actually like die from it, but it's like implied that they'll die. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Was it implied that? I mean, I guess it's implied because it's chloroform.
It's implied because it's chloroform.
Yeah, but
nobody. They all wear them. Like half the flight puts this mask on
nap.
for the entire rest of the movie.
They just take a nap.
And
then eventually, like, again, not to skip too far ahead. Eventually, I guess the chloroform just stops, and they're all back awake.
They're all fine.
Yeah, I don't know, weird, but yeah. So Vitali does that, and he walks into the cockpit, and him and Logan start fighting, and Logan gets him pretty good. I mean, not Logan. Vitali gets him pretty good. He stabs him. Yeah, he stabs
with
him.
with a machete that he just has.
Yeah, so he's killing people left and right. The guy who was getting domed the entire flight dies.
He's been dead.
He throws the female flight attendant off the plane for no real reason.
No reason at all.
He didn't kill Bruce though, right?
No, Bruce lives.
Yeah, Bruce lives. So shout out Bruce.
Bruce was my favorite.
Yeah, he was pretty funny. It's just like I said. I think it was weird that Logan Paul wrote a gay character to be infatuated with him. Like it's a very narcissistic thing to do. Yeah, twice. But he was pretty funny. I'll give him that. I wonder if that actor has done anything else because I feel like give him a different script and maybe he would.
We could figure that out if you want to keep explaining what's happening, and I'll be your little analyst guy.
The fight goes on for a pretty long time. I will say if I'm going to compliment one thing, the action was actually pretty well scripted, I think.
Okay.
Like I found it entertaining when they were going back and forward. Some of the stuff didn't make sense. Like how did they not all get sucked out of the plane immediately?
Yeah, that didn't make sense at all.
Like whatever, I'm not going to look too far into it. It's not worth it. But I thought the fight sequence was at least interesting, and like Vitali being a crazy murderer, I think is pretty good casting. Like look at that guy. That's a scary ass dude. He's totally fallen off now, which is kind of interesting. Like, I'm not sure if he's even on YouTube anymore, but he's had a array of different legal troubles since then. And I think like
everyone else in this film has too.
Yeah. But eventually he goes to parachute off the plane, and he's immediately sucked into the jet engine and shredded instantaneously. So that's the resolution.
Like instantly.
Yeah, so that's the resolution. I guess it, like, I don't know, it wasn't really that good of a conclusion. Just because
conclusion with like an air quote.
Like obviously the main thing is that they're trying to get to Australia besides the fact that the pilots are dead. Vitali running around is supposed to be like the main subplot. To just resolution to the subplot happened like 25 minutes before the movie ended. And also it was just like a very cheap just cop out where it was just like, here he is. Oh, he's gone.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So they look up a YouTube tutorial in order to land the plane. And all right, I said there was only one funny joke. There's two funny jokes. Yeah, the kid who made the YouTube tutorial was very funny.
They look up a tutorial on how to land the plane on YouTube, which I think that's actually kind of a funny.
Yeah.
I'll give them that one.
Yeah.
Having to look up a tutorial to find the plane, to land the plane, that's a funny joke.
Yeah, I thought it was
one of the three funny jokes in this movie.
It was
and
pretty
the second
funny.
is
And
also related with it.
I was gonna say, and then they get an ad, and they're like, "Oh, come on, I can't skip it." So like, relatable or whatever. Have you been able to find this guy yet?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah. So his name is Stephen Guarino, and he's an actor and comedian, 3-time Emmy nominee.
Wow. Okay.
He was one of the prominent sketch comedy stars on the groundbreaking Logo TV series The Big Gay Sketch Show.
Good for him.
So good for him, yeah.
If you ever want to join us on Movie Basket, we have a seat for you. We'd love to talk to you.
Thank you. Yes, Steven, you are always welcome to be on Movie Basket. He's been in a lot of stuff. It looks like a lot of.
It makes you wonder how he ended up on fucking airplane mode. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh, he won an award. He won Best Guest Comedy Actor on Life is a Drag. I've never heard of that.
What was the award? Like what was the body that gave out the award?
The 7th Indie Series Awards.
Oh, I'm not familiar, but good for him.
Good for him.
Yeah, glad he's had a lot of success in his career.
Comedian, so good for him.
Yeah, just weird that he ended up on airplane mode because I think he's better than most of the people that he was surrounded by.
Oh my god, yeah.
I guess like the acting didn't necessarily bother me that much besides how loud everyone was, and I think that's mostly just because like they played themselves, so they didn't really have to act.
Yeah, it was
like I was annoyed, you know, I'm not gonna lie. Like just the loud volume at all times got old pretty quickly. But I can't complain being like King Bach was a terrible actor in this film.
Yeah, like how do you say that? Like no shit.
Yeah, no shit, and
he's
also
a terrible actor in his own vines.
Yeah, he played himself, so whatever. Speaking of King Bach, just randomly he catches a stray, he gets sucked out of the plane and dies.
Like for no reason.
There was no reason.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was funny because it was King Bach.
That's a really good way to look at this film. It was bad, but it was funny because it was blank. You could totally get away with that. It was funny because it was Logan Paul. It was funny because it was Lele Pons.
Also, did Brittany Ferland die or was she just knocked out? I don't remember if they don't
resolve it.
So her and Juan Po are hooking up in the bathroom because she's like blackout drunk, and she also did lines of coke with that businessman we were talking about before. So they're hooking up, and then like they literally hit like a little bit of turbulence because Vitaly got fucking shredded.
Yes,
and she bumps her head, and that's it. She's apparently out. Whether she's dead, we're unconscious. We don't know. We don't see her leave the plane. I'm assuming she's dead.
Yeah, we don't see most of them leave the plane.
No, like we saw a lot of them.
I guess.
Like we see Lele, we see.
Well, yeah, we see the main
David
characters,
Dobrik.
but there's a lot of people on that flight.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're not gonna see every single person.
We don't see them in the background. They all die, basically.
No, most of them live.
Yeah.
So they look up the YouTube tutorial. In the middle of the tutorial, like
this kind of kills the joke for me a little bit. Actually, I'm not gonna lie.
The whole like abortion thing.
Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't funny.
It wasn't funny because it just doesn't make sense. So he's talking about how to fly the plane, and it's really this part's hilarious. He's talking about how to fly the plane,
and it's like a cardboard.
He has this cardboard cockpit. It's really funny.
Yeah,
and he's going on, and then his sister walks in or whatever. What was her name?
Becky.
Why do I know sister walks in.
Why do I fucking know that?
Who's the girl sitting next to Logan Paul for the whole movie? I don't know. Who's the sister? Becky. So Becky walks in, and the kid has a name too. I forget his name. It's important too. You're gonna know it. I know it's gonna be funny. You're gonna. Okay.
He looks like Aiden. I'm gonna call him Aiden.
Okay, so we'll call him Aiden for the purpose of explaining. So Aiden's like, "This is how you fly the plane." Blah 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 blah. Becky walks in, says some shit, and he's like, "I'm telling mom about your abortion" or something.
Yeah, and
it's not funny, and it ruins the joke.
And then the mom
walks in, and it's like, "Have you been watching?" Can I say this or?
We've said so many other things. Just say it.
So the mom walks in and is like, "Have you been watching?" I'll simplify it. Have you been watching
videos?
Animated adult videos?
Yeah.
And it's like, this kid's 10.
Yeah, he was a young. We presume he's the same age as Logan Paul was when he broke his femurs because of a later
10.
joke. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So weird. But I mean, like everyone in this movie is sexualized. The 90-year-old woman sexualized.
The 90-year-old woman is sexualized.
The 10-year-old kid.
Yes. Yep.
The lotion bottle.
The
termites. Weird fucking shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So they land the plane. Everyone's fine. I forgot to mention, I guess, but when Vitaly got shredded, it blew up the engine, which makes sense. So they were like literally crashing at that point.
But they landed the plane.
Yeah.
No problems.
Yeah. So all good. Happy ending.
And then Logan Paul goes to his e-girl's house.
Well, I was gonna say Logan and what's her name? I already forgot.
They're
Logan and
Jenna
part ways. They didn't really get to say goodbye because everyone swarmed Logan for being the hero he is, which like again
narcissistic.
weird thing to write about yourself, but whatever. So Logan's whole well, first of all, they were supposed to go to #con, which we never see.
Oh, that's because it's I've heard to say this. #con wasn't real. That was one of the plot devices.
Oh, I missed that. I missed that.
The whole plot device is it was to get everyone on the plane, to get them in one place to murder them.
Vitality wanted to kill all of them.
And he said that the idea of #con was just a prank. He says that.
Oh, dude. All right. So I skipped something that I guess I probably shouldn't have skipped. At one point,
it's so quick. It's so quick.
At one point, Logan and Bruce are tied up in the
the hold?
The luggage area, and he's gonna kick them off the plane like he did to the female flight attendant. But Logan Paul's bird, like his actual real Maverick, Maverick, fucking saves them. So they're fine. I don't know why Vitaly just walked away. You know what I mean? Like he sees them holding on, like for dear life, and I don't know if I'm like a supervillain like Vitaly is. Wouldn't you like just punch Logan's hand and watch him go flying?
Yeah, no, that wouldn't happen.
It's just walking away.
No, that wouldn't happen. Yeah.
So the two pull themselves back in, and it's fine. They land the plane. The day's saved. He meets the guy who he was talking to in radar control, the Australian guy, and he knocks him out.
The unfunny guy. Yeah.
Which like,
okay.
It was kind of like it's kind of funny. Like I get it based on the rest of the movie. It wasn't a sexual joke, so I liked it for that reason.
Yeah.
So Logan and his brother Wanpo have the great idea where because Logan had never met his e-girl before, his kitten, if you will.
Yeah. If you want to call her that.
He's gonna send Wanpo in his place and just claim that the camera made him look different and that he was using a voice changer, and that works because of course it does.
Yeah.
So
and then she ends up liking him more.
Yeah. So Wanpo finally gets laid. It only took.
I think you're mispronouncing his name. I think it's Wampa.
Oh yeah, Wampa. Sorry, I pronounced it right earlier.
You did.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Wampa gets laid, and good for him finally. And then her dad walks in on him and chases him out of the house, butt-ass naked, because
#con, it's airplane mode. What do you mean?
And then we see Logan try and find Jenna, and she shows up. Well, he shows up, and Jenna has a guy shirtless.
But get this. It's a gay guy who also is in love with Logan Paul.
Yeah, because Logan Paul leaves after seeing him, and then he hears the guy's thoughts, and he realizes he must be gay because he can only hear gay guys'
Which is a big plot device.
I don't know why. Yeah, because like through the movie, like Bruce and him communicate multiple times. Like, I thought it was just like a random like cutaway joke at first when it happened, being like, I know, like I could hear your thoughts. I thought that was just supposed to be like a little meme. But then no, it's quite literally like a superpower he has for some fucking reason. So he goes, meets up with Jenna. They have sex, and woo, everyone's happy.
Everyone's happy.
Except you don't see any of the other influencers who flew all the way to Australia.
No, it just ends.
Who had their friends die on the plane.
It ends.
Yeah.
The movie ends. They're on the beach with
not even
a kangaroo.
Like we don't see David Dobrik. We don't see Lele Pons. We don't see.
Yeah, no. The movie literally just ends.
Yeah.
And so I think with that, let's talk about some reviews.
All right. Yeah. Let me pull up Letterboxd. So on Letterboxd,
I've got Rotten Tomatoes up.
It has less than a star, if you could believe that. It averages 0.9, which is insane, dude. That's hard to get.
I want to read the only existing professional review of this movie.
Oh, go for it. Yeah, I'm going to look for some good Letterboxd
This is
reviews.
from Eric D. Snyder. We may think that as a society, we have done nothing to deserve the image of a lactating Nick Swardson. But we're fooling ourselves. This is who we are. Oh, that's just the headline. There's a full review?
I don't know if we need the whole.
No, but I'm going to look at it.
So this was posted by Matthew L. Brady on Letterboxd, and he said, and I thought filming a dead body was bad.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh, here's an excerpt from this. This is an excerpt from the professional review. But don't worry, there's also some racism.
Oh, good.
Thank God. It reads as ugly, sour, low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, everything in this movie. Everything in this movie is low-hanging fruit. None of it. like everything is so apparent. Everything is gonna happen. Like what's gonna happen. None of it's cool. None of it's funny.
Comedian Nick Swardson, perhaps the most legitimately famous person in this cast, plays a passenger who steals someone's baby and nurses it with his own squirting breasts. That is from a professional Rotten Tomatoes review.
So I didn't know that guy was like well known, and as I'm reading these reviews right now on Letterboxd, a lot of them are targeted at him. So I'm assuming this guy's got a bad reputation for other things besides his airplane mode video. Movie, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I'm not gonna lie, these Letterboxd reviews aren't even that funny. It's hard to be funny about a movie that
has nothing to work with.
Yeah.
So here we are, you and me.
We talked for over an hour already about an unfunny movie that neither of us liked.
Yeah.
Did you look up Nick Swardson?
I'm kind of jumping between that and reviews. Most of the reviews here are terrible, half a star. This film feels like terrible, half a star. I would give it no stars, half a star. Here's a good one. Horrible. Never watched this movie. Few films have made me doubt creativity as a concept. This is the worst movie ever made. Here's a 5-star review. This movie was pretty spicy. That's it. And
5 stars?
And under that is a half star. Most brain dead movie I've seen in years. Please do not watch. Puke.
Yeah, it's a very brain dead movie.
Yes. I'm gonna look up. Do you have anything else you want to say?
No. Once you feel good with the reviews, I'll probably move to concluding thoughts. I just don't want to
look at the controversy real quick.
Oh, with Nick Swardson? Yeah, I'd love to know what's up with that. Maybe is it just that he's not funny, or did he do something?
I'm trying to figure it out.
I'm searching Nick Swardson canceled. Oh, he's done like actual work. What?
Yeah, no.
Nah. He's I
don't know if he had any controversies.
No, I don't think there's any controversy. I guess people just don't like his humor.
I think people are probably just maybe looking at him and thinking like you could do better.
Oh, what? He was in Grown Ups? So I've seen this guy in other stuff before.
This is the one you'll remember him from.
Yeah, this is what's going to resonate with me for a very, very long time. The photo they have of him on Wikipedia is pretty bad.
Yeah, I saw that. Okay, so let's move into concluding thoughts a little bit. This movie's not good.
No.
And I think the only place that you could genuinely watch this is with 10, not 2, not 3. You need a group to watch this movie. You need a bunch of your friends. You need enough alcohol to kill a hippo. And then you'll have a good time. This movie can be enjoyed in a group with alcoholic beverages. There is no other place to enjoy this movie. You will not like this movie if you watch it by yourself.
I don't think it's enjoyable really at all.
It's not. There's nothing.
There's better.
And there's better group movies to watch.
Cause like I don't know, if you and your friends are gonna like all get together and you're gonna drink and watch something bad for the
that's
sake
true.
of it being
Do you want to
bad,
watch that?
Are you gonna watch it a Logan Paul vlog essentially? Because that's what it is.
No,
it's not
you're not gonna do that.
So my final thoughts really, it's a waste of time. If you're curious enough to check out the movie, at least watch it on Tubi because the kickback to Logan Paul will be a lot less than if you were to rent the movie or pirate it. Obviously, that's an option too. It's the one appeal of it, I will say, is that it's like a time capsule. If you were a very online person around 2016,
I think it's probably going to grow a cult following in the years coming.
I don't know about
very small. I would say so.
I don't know about cult following. I don't think people are gonna like it, but I think people are gonna.
You genuinely don't think there's gonna be like a group of I think there's gonna be a group of like radical online people. Like
I don't think so.
Just a small. I think it's gonna have a following.
Someone will there's someone bound to like every movie, obviously, but I don't think this movie's gonna have like a room type following.
Really, I think there's gonna be a room. Yeah.
But I was gonna just say that like. If you were very online, if you were familiar with YouTube back in 2016,
it's a time.
If you watch like a lot of like Leafy is Here, Pyrocynical, like the commentary.
Yeah, it's very that.
Yeah, you'll get to like kind of look back at the stuff they made fun of because it's like, oh yeah, like I remember when the biggest issue in my life was when is Leafy going to talk about the new Logan Paul video? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a little nostalgic in that way, but beyond
but it's not
that,
good.
Yeah, beyond that, there's really not much appeal. The movie itself isn't good.
It's hard to rank it as a regular movie.
Yeah.
If we're comparing it to Cats, I'd rather watch Cats 5 times in a row than watch this again.
Yeah,
That's not true. I don't like Cats either. I don't like either of them.
On Letterboxd, I made a list ranking the best one in quality to the worst one in quality of the ones we've done so far. This is definitely
the
number
worst.
4.
Yeah. And I don't think it's going to take a lot to pass this one.
Yeah.
We've set the bar, and it's low.
I was thinking about it yesterday. I think like when we get back next semester and when it gets to like December, we should do a year-end review where we rank all these movies in order from best to worst.
I love that idea. Stay tuned for that because that's now an official thing that we're doing.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
This is the last movie that we're going to be doing in the studio for some time as the semester is about to conclude.
We have some ideas for what we're going to do away from the studio.
Definitely a lot.
Stay tuned for that.
Yeah, definitely a lot of exciting stuff coming on all of our social media channels. So definitely keep your eyes open as we start to work on some of that. Before we wrap it up, let's just give
a rating.
Number rating to this. So
go ahead, Tom. Give it a number rating.
I gave it half a star out of 5 on Letterboxd because that's the lowest.
That's the lowest. I would also give it a half a star out of 5.
Yeah.
If I could give it a different rating, I would give it a 0.2.
If I could give it that 0, I would give it that 0.
I'm under the influence that we can't do it 0. If we can give it a 0, we're giving it a 0.
Yeah, if I could give it to it, I totally
or a 0.1. I could give it a 0.1 because of the two funny jokes.
Oh wait, we forgot to mention how it ends.
No, we didn't.
He meets up.
He meets the kid.
Yeah, he meets up with the kid
and punches Becky.
Yeah, and he punches Becky like literally like Peter Griffin style.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, the more I think about it, this movie, I feel like he just sat down. And Logan Paul has done this with other projects. I don't know how much you follow Logan Paul.
Not
and
at all.
I keep up with Logan Paul. I'm not gonna lie, just because like you want to know what your enemy is up to.
I like watching his boxing matches.
Yeah, I've definitely watched those. But he's made a bunch of crypto scams. One of which was called Ding Doink. And Ding Doink was like, he was pushing it as like a shitcoin. I don't know how familiar you are with crypto.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm familiar with shitcoins.
Yeah, so he was pushing it as a shitcoin that he had no involvement in. It was supposed to be like, I found this really funny shitcoin. Like, wouldn't it be funny if we made this go to the moon? When in reality, he owned the coin and he just unloaded everything he had when people started buying. But Dink Doink was animated like South Park. It was the same exact style as South Park, and it was supposed to be like, like he's got a potty mouth. I feel like everything Logan Paul does creatively is just inspired by adult animation because there's so many parallels I found from this and stupid Family Guy cutaways. Like, picture the worst Family Guy cutaways that
worst.
Yeah.
This is that.
Because Family Guy's funny sometimes.
Sometimes it has its moments.
Yeah.
I would say more times than not, I actually don't really care for it that much.
Yeah.
But it certainly has its funny moments. Absolutely.
Yeah. So picture like the worst.
I think
Family
South Park
Guy
is a
cutaways.
lot better than Family Guy.
For sure.
Yeah.
I would rather watch South
Park.
Park.
Oh my god, me
any
too.
Day. And that's kind of what you get with airplane mode. It's a bunch of stupid cutaways.
It's a stupid movie. That's it.
Yeah.
You have anything else that you'd like to say about this? I think we've beat the horse into the ground by now. It's a bad movie.
Did I mention that the kid broke his femur?
No, you didn't. There's so many.
That's what I meant to.
Guys, there's so many things that we didn't mention about this movie that are all so tiny and insignificant. The kid broke his femur.
Why do so many people break their femur?
So many. We didn't even mention the intro, like animated. We didn't. You guys. I guess you're gonna have to watch the movie yourself now.
Dude, this podcast is almost as long as the movie, and we're realizing we've missed all this stuff.
Yeah, that's because this movie is just shit-tacular. That's the only way I can describe this.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's bad.
Bold words, but I can't help but disagree. I mean, not...
Oh, you liked it. All right, guys, that's all the time we have for today.
No.
Tom Tricoli.
I stuttered.
Employers, I stuttered. Hey, employers, you looking at this?
I stuttered. I can't help but agree with what you said.
Yeah, no, it's a bad movie.
With that being said, if you've made it this far...
I don't know how you've made it this far if you have, but thank you. We appreciate it. We've been getting more support and more support.
Yeah, we're almost at... Actually, I think we did hit 50 followers on Instagram, which is pretty cool.
That's really cool.
We're up to 8 subs on YouTube.
That's pretty cool, too.
When we hit 10, I don't know, maybe
we'll film our own movie.
Yeah.
10 subs. 10 subs and we'll film our own feature film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, wouldn't that be funny if we made like
we should
a
do
movie
that.
and then just critiqued your own movie as if we weren't involved in it?
We should do that. We should do that.
Whoever directed this is a fucking dumbass.
Next April, look forward to that.
It's fucking me.
Yeah.
Well, eventually I got to do my film for capping.
Mm-hmm.
So
this would not be it.
When I graduate, you should come in the studio and record an episode just dunking on my capping project.
That's a really good idea.
I won't be around for it, but you could tear it to shreds.
Well, all right, we're gonna keep talking about ideas off camera, but that's gonna be pretty much everything we've got for you today with this episode of Movie Basket.
There's
oh my
one
God.
concluding thought.
Okay.
Because remember, I told you I wanted to say this before we started filming, and
You did.
it totally escaped my mind. My final thought is make sure next time you board a plane to put your phone on airplane mode. You don't want to fucking kill your pilots, but when you get off the plane, maybe leave it on airplane mode because social media fucking sucks, and I hate all these influencers. That's it. That's all I wanted to say.
That was really cool, Tom. That was really cool. Thank you.
Totally wasn't rehearsed.
No, that was flawless.
All right.
That's going to be everything we've got for today. I'm Gene.
I'm Tom.
Thanks for watching.
Peace out, guys.